In a faraway land where the sun blazed fiercely, lived a miser. This man, known to all as the most frugal and tight-fisted person in the region, had a heart that beat only for his gold.
I care for nothing but my gold. It is my life, my soul, my everything.
His days were spent counting his coins, his nights dreaming of their clinking music. The sound of gold was his lullaby, and the sight of it his morning sun. Each piece represented security, power, and a strange sense of comfort. To him, every coin was a shield against the uncertainties of life. The miser trusted no one, keeping his wealth a tightly guarded secret. He believed that sharing his treasure would only bring misfortune.
Spending means losing a part of my precious hoard. I cannot bear the thought of parting with even a single coin.
He rarely spent his wealth. His frugality was legendary, and his reluctance to part with his gold was known far and wide. The miser lived in fear, always anxious about thieves and envious eyes. His paranoia grew with each passing day, isolating him further. His heart, once filled with the warmth of life, had grown as cold and hard as his beloved gold. The treasure that he cherished so dearly had become his prison. One day, driven by paranoia and an overwhelming sense of dread, the miser decided to hide his treasure, fearing that someone might discover it. He found a secluded spot in his garden, hidden from prying eyes and away from any potential intruders. Under the cover of darkness, when the world was asleep and the moon was his only witness, he dug a deep pit, ensuring it was deep enough to keep his secret safe.
Into this pit where no one would think to look, my chest of gold shall go, hidden from the world.
He covered it with earth, packing the soil tightly to erase all evidence, erasing all traces of his frantic activity, making it look as if nothing had ever been disturbed. He returned to his house, not with a light heart, but with a heavier burden, knowing his treasure was safe but feeling more isolated than ever. The gold was safe, but so was his isolation. The walls of his home felt more like a prison.
These walls of fear and mistrust, they close in on me every day. My treasure has become my prison, a constant reminder of my solitude.
The miser had built walls around himself, both physical and emotional, walls made of fear and mistrust, keeping everyone out and his secrets in. His treasure, instead of bringing joy, had become his prison, a constant source of anxiety and isolation. One scorching afternoon, a wandering dervish, a Sufi known for his wisdom, arrived at the village. Word spread quickly about his arrival, and soon a crowd gathered, eager to hear his teachings. The miser, too, was drawn by curiosity, though his heart remained fixated on his hidden treasure.
What could this Sufi possibly teach me?
The Sufi spoke of love, kindness, and the importance of sharing. He spoke of the illusion of material wealth and the true treasure that lay within. His words were like seeds, finding fertile ground in the hearts of the villagers. But the miser remained unmoved. Section 4. The Sufi Strategy.
The Sufi, sensing the miser's hardened heart, devised a plan.
He announced his intention to buy a piece of land, the very plot where the miser had buried his gold.
The miser, hearing this, was aghast. His heart pounded in his chest.
The Sufi, pretending ignorance, offered the miser a hefty sum for the seemingly worthless land.
The miser, blinded by his fear of losing his gold, readily accepted the offer. He signed the deed, his hand trembling, his mind in turmoil.
Section 5. The Price of Stagnation.
That night, under the same moon that had witnessed his frantic burying, the miser crept back to his garden. The air was thick with tension, and the silence of the night was only broken by the rustling of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. He dug up the earth, his heart pounding with anticipation. Each shovelful of dirt brought him closer to his hidden treasure, and his mind raced with thoughts of the wealth he had so carefully concealed.
As the chest finally emerged from its earthen tomb, the miser felt a surge of relief, followed by a chilling dread. The weight of his actions pressed heavily on his shoulders, and he hesitated before opening the chest.
He pried open the heavy chest, and his blood ran cold. The sight before him was not the gleaming gold he had expected, but a grim reminder of the passage of time. The gold, his precious gold, had turned to dust. The once vibrant and valuable treasure had disintegrated into a worthless pile of particles. The coins were corroded, the jewelry tarnished beyond recognition. What was once a symbol of his wealth and security was now a testament to neglect and decay. Years of being buried, untouched and stagnant had destroyed their value. The miser's heart sank as he realized the true cost of his obsession with hoarding.
The Sufi, who had observed the miser's nocturnal activities from afar, approached him. His eyes were filled with a mix of compassion and wisdom, understanding the lesson that was about to unfold. "Wealth," he said gently, "is like a river. It must flow to sustain life and bring prosperity to all it touches. When it flows, it brings life and prosperity. It nourishes the land, supports the creatures that depend on it, and creates a thriving ecosystem. But when it stagnates, it breeds rot and decay. The once clear and life-giving water becomes a breeding ground for disease and death."
The miser, his face etched with regret and understanding, finally realized the wisdom in the Sufi's words. He had been so focused on preserving his wealth that he had forgotten the importance of letting it flow and benefit others. He had spent his life guarding his wealth, but in the end, it had amounted to nothing. The true value of wealth, he now understood, lay not in hoarding it, but in using it to create a better world for himself and those around him.